Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode number 203. This is a show where we talk about video games and gamer-related things. My name is Frank from Palm Manso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's happening, sir?
Well, Frank, how you doing? I'm very excited because I finally, after many months, I've overcome my podcast deficit, and now I don't have podcasts to catch up on. It's incredibly relieving, and now I don't know what to do with my free time.
That's good. How many different shows do you listen to?
Too many to count. I subscribe to literally dozens of podcasts, not all of which are active or ones that I, listen to every single episode, but I do have plenty to listen to throughout the week. And I don't know, I think this started because of all the end of year stuff last year, because I listened to a lot of gaming podcasts, so a lot of them had like long game of the year discussions and stuff, and that kind of created that backlog because there was just so much content back then. And me being the kind of person that I am, I needed to listen to everything that's come out since then. So I've been slowly catching up. And I don't know, somehow just magically happened. I wasn't paying attention to how much progress I was making. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't have all these podcasts to listen to anymore. And I'm sort of rediscovering music again, which is strange. What is this thing that you can listen to and enjoy?
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do you utilize your time when you listen to your podcast? Because maybe that's also a factor in creating the backlog that you had. Like, do you use it for like, getting through, like going through errands, chores, or do you just like casually listen to them, or like, like on drives, or like how do you best spend your time with them?
Yeah, the key time is like usually on a commute, in the car somewhere, or, just wherever I can get headphones in. Travel time is like the key factor. If I'm traveling by myself, because if I'm traveling with other people, I don't want to burden them with, podcasts they might not be interested in. So that's the main way. But, occasionally if I am doing errands, if I'm out like going for a walk or something, or doing chores around the house, then yeah, I'll pop in headphones and listen to podcasts that way as well.
Okay. Cool. Like, yeah, with me, I usually listen to them when I'm doing chores and or when I'm traveling. And only when I'm traveling on long trips. Like if I'm going from here to New York, let's say, I'll pop in like 2 or 3 episodes of a show, of different shows. And, by the time they're done, I'll listen to like another hour of music, and then I'm in New York, So so like I have a backlog, and it's very big, and it's still there. But it's because I selectively listen to podcasts only during the conditions have to be met, for me to listen to a podcast, where as it seems like you have more opportunities, or you afford yourself more opportunity to listen to it. So that's good.
Yeah. That's good. Also, I'm a crazy person because I listen to a lot of my podcasts at higher speeds than normal.
How do you do that? Like, that's weird. Is that, I mean, I guess it's not weird to you, but that sounds weird to me. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I know it's not like chipmunk speed, but
nope.
Isn't it like a little, I don't know. To me, it sounds off-putting because it's faster than normal.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I guess it depends on the speed too, because I think a lot of the more modern podcast players now offer these choices, and you can kind of step in like tenths of like, usually it's like 1 time or 1.2 times faster, and it goes by, or you can increase it in tenths. So I found for me 1.7x is the sweet spot where it's not fast enough where I can't understand anymore what's happening. But it's like right there at the limit where like I can still kind of comprehend everything that's being said in the conversation.
And that actually increases or shortens the time for the episode, correct?
Right, yeah, because it's almost 2 times. It goes by almost 2 times as fast as normal. But it also doesn't do that chipmunk effect where like it's high pitched or anything. They pitched it normally, but it's just everything is being said a lot faster.
Huh. Well, I guess you're used to it. I don't know. To me, it sounds weird.
Yeah, I can't do it for all podcasts. There are certain podcasts where I still have to listen to normal speed, but if it's just people talking back and forth about certain subjects, then like, all right, it's fine. I can speed this up. It's not going to matter.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, congratulations. That's good.
Thank you. Now I'm like, what music service do I want to listen to music on? Because I haven't done this in a while.
There's a lot of those out there.
Yeah, I think the more I think about it, it's more like, or when I start thinking about it, I just get sad because I used to be a big fan of RDO and they died and I still miss them because Spotify is not as good. And I'm like, shit, this is, I'm like leaning on Google Play Music by default, but I don't know. Just going to play the field and see what happens.
Well, there's lots of other options out there besides, Spotify, Google Play. There's Pandora, there's like iTunes Music, there's isn't there like a Yahoo Music option?
What? That is news to me. I know there's like Amazon Music, but
yes, there's also an Amazon Music. I think there's like a Yahoo Music sort of thing out there as well.
That's bananas.
I don't know if anybody uses it. But yeah, at the same time, there's a lot of options out there. You can definitely probably find something that appeals more to you, to how you like to listen to music, or it might be easier for you to discover music in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big undertaking.
Yeah. I like some of the Google Play playlists in the past, and they have the nice added benefit where you can upload your music and listen to them for free on streaming. So I don't have to, load every single song that I want on my phone. I can just put it in the cloud and then play them whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my wife does. She pays the monthly fee, and then she basically can do whatever she wants. Like she can stream, download, whatever. And she usually just streams like albums that just came out. It's like she doesn't have to buy them. She just has them right there, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you'll definitely be able to find something if Spotify is not your thing, and I think Spotify is the most widely accepted or widely used version of this thing of a music player.
Yeah.
So, but in any case, yeah, you should be fine. There's a lot of music to discover out there.
Yeah. I feel like I've been out of the loop for too long.
It might not be such a bad thing.
Oh, man.
That's a discussion for another day. Yeah. In any case, let us get into what we've been playing. So let's start the show as we usually do. And we're going to start with you.
Okay.
And what do you have for us this week?
So first of all, before I actually talk about the actual game I've been playing, I don't know why I feel the need to mention this, but I also spent the weekend punching a bunch of numbers into spreadsheets for some ungodly reason.
Okay. Was this for fun?
Sort of.
There's nothing about that sounds fun at all.
So I don't know what prompted this question, but I was curious, like, hey, what's the best damage output for like certain combos in Street Fighter V, specifically for like super output? So I'm like, let's test this out. Let's see what the numbers fold out. And then fast forward a couple of hours where I am alt-tabbing between training mode and then the Google Docs spreadsheet, punching in numbers manually after I do a combo that ends in a critical art just to satiate my curiosity as to like, okay, what's the best way to get critical art from a combo and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that was an afternoon well spent.
So hold on, did you do this with just one character?
Yeah, just with Guile. Yeah, because that's the only character I play.
Okay, that's
specifically
that's a little
for
more
the
reasonable
character that I play. Yeah, it's not like all characters across the board. Yeah,
because I'm like, Alex, I'm like, I mean, well, it depends, but I'm like, they have this sort of thing out there already, like the damage output for anything. Like, not anything, but most combos, like most B&Bs for characters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But not like out of super. Like you get the damage outputs for like the actual B&Bs, but not ones that end in super or ending those bread and butters into super. So I was just curious, like, because there's some weird scaling issues with the supers. Like I found out if you link from a light to a super, you typically do less damage than the base super, which I thought was strange. But yeah, that's I spent too much time, honestly, doing that.
Wow. So were you like trying to like, were you doing like B&Bs or were you doing like your own concoctions to see how it would end up with special, like with the, after the critical art with the damage?
Mostly bread and butters, and then it started, and then I eventually ended up like trying every single combination of move that I could link or cancel into super with. So I try to make it very comprehensive for really no reason whatsoever. It was just, again, to satisfy my curiosity.
Man, it sounds like what I used to do with, it was like Samurai Showdown on the Game Boy.
Yeah?
Yeah, like that, like, truthfully, honestly, and truly, that game was like the game that taught me how to play fighting games.
Okay.
Like, I played the shit out of that game day in, day out. I played with every character. I learned how to play with every character. I learned about, the Shoryuken motion, even though on the Game Boy it was really difficult to do. I learned how to do a Shoryuken with Jubei, the two swordsman dude with the eye patch, and I did like everything with like every character possible. Like I got the secret characters. I limited myself. I was like, all right, I'm only going to do this move with this character. I'm going to see how jumping works. Man, I spent like summers, plural summers, like playing this game day in, day out. I'd go to the park and I'd bring the fucking Game Boy with me to the park and I'd play fucking Samurai Showdown. So
I don't know why, but now I'm just imagining you wearing a lab coat while you're doing this because it's all science. You got to boil it down to the science. It is
science, but I didn't know what it was at the time. I was just having a good time with the game, and I took a lot of that with me. And I don't know, man. Like Samurai Showdown, that Game Boy game was amazing, by the way. And I was like, wow. Because I sucked at Street Fighter. I sucked at like other fighting games because I didn't like have the opportunity to play them a whole lot. Like my friends had them and they'd destroy me. And I'm like, I don't know how to play. I don't know what to do. And then I just got my hands on that game somehow. I forget. And I just, lobbed it up, man. Every day. I learned every single character. I think that game had, at the outset, that game had 14 characters. And then you could unlock 3 more. And, even though it only had like punch and kick with the B and A buttons, but then you press them together, it give you a different attack. You do fireball motions with them, it give you different attacks and so on. So, yeah, man.
Okay.
It was a hell of a time. So, I get it. I get it for the sake of science. Yeah. Yeah, you lab that shit up, man. You discover some shit and then you just optimize.
Yeah. Optimization is hard, especially for me because I don't know. I try to go for the fancy stuff, but my execution is usually crap, so I can't rely on it. So then I'm like, I'll give it a shot this time, see if it works out, and if it doesn't, I'm like, all right, I'll just, stick to what I know for now.
And the thing is, I think execution is horrible for most people. Yeah. Because like in training mode, you feel like, oh, I'm the shit because you're doing all of these like combos that you like or that you feel are most beneficial to you in whatever way, shape, or form. But you're doing it against someone who doesn't fight back, Yeah. And you're trying to like see like what works best. But then when you have a moving target or someone that defends, it's like it's all gone. It's all out the window. And then when you see an opportunity for that combo to happen, you fuck it up because you think too hard about it. And that's where execution fails. Whereas if you practice it like 1,000 times and you get it right 1,000 times in training, you'll probably get it right maybe like 100 times. in like real matches.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I think that's how I think it's just how it is with everybody. And it's weird. Like I was reading this thing. I forgot. I think it was like a YouTube thing that I was watching on Street Fighter V when the game first came out, and they were talking about like pro players / tournament players versus like us, like regular people, right?
Okay.
And they were saying like that the pro players or like the highest level tournament players, it's like it's like, think of it as like we're all blind in the game. Like we can't actually see what's going on in the game. But those people that are at the highest level, they practice so much, they actually can like see. They have like, maybe it's like one eye open or both eyes open in the game.
They can see the Matrix code.
Yeah, they can see, whereas we can't. And that's why it's like their execution is better. They don't mess up. They don't drop combos. If they do drop a combo, it's like a big fucking deal, you know? Like they don't drop shit. They don't mess up. They understand setups. They're like 5 or 6 steps ahead of you. And it's, I don't know, like for some reason that kind of like stuck out to me. It's like, I want to be able to see, you know, like I think we all just want to be able to see. And if we can see, then we can actually see what the fuck we're doing or what we're doing wrong. And then we can execute better in that regard. And, you know, it's like, and they also said like when we're in training mode, we can see 100%. But then when we're in a real match, we can't see a goddamn thing. And, you know, and we're just going off of like instinct, but it's hard with a moving target.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just like the whole like labbing is like it's still a mystery to me, man. Like I do it a lot, but man, when it comes to the fucking actual game, I'm like, God damn it. I'm messing up like the shit I practiced thousands of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, especially that, like, I found, like, I'm not the type of person to go into the lab and figure stuff out. Like, I'm not that, I don't know the games in that way, so I end up relying on other people and stealing their tech, the people that actually figure it out and know how to combine all the different pieces.
Yeah, it's different for a lot of people in that regard, too. Like, there are people who, like, spend, like, all of their time in the lab. You know, like, they don't even play against other people. They just lab it up and lab it up and lab it up. And you know, whereas their technique might be perfect, you know, if they land something, they'll land it every time. They don't drop shit.
Yeah.
But then they don't really understand the intricacies of like playing against other people, like humans, and kind of like seeing like how other people adapt and change and all of that stuff. Whereas you have like other people who don't lab at all or lab very little, and they just play people and they learn that way. And that's like a really raw way of learning, but I think that's really effective as well, because it's like you're learning by doing. You know, but then again, your technique is not the best. It's really messy because you're just kind of like flying by the seat of your pants, you know?
Yeah. And depending on who you're playing, you might be getting away with stuff that isn't real. So then it's like once you find out, like, oh shit, that's not real, god damn it, now you have no backup plan.
Yeah. And then there's like the whole like playing online aspect. Like, you know, if you play online, like there's shit that's going to work that will never work in local play. You know, and that creates a whole different dynamic right there. That 1 or 2 frames of lag will cause a very different game to appear before your eyes.
Sure will.
Yeah. But, well, hey, I guess that was an afternoon well spent, because
sure.
I hope you found out stuff from it.
I did find out some stuff. I was surprised to find that there's actually ways that you can combo into super and then do less damage than the base super by itself. So, sure, that was eye-opening. Yeah. But yeah, other than playing Street Fighter V and spreadsheets, I spent $10 and I bought myself Asemblance Oversight, which came out last week. I had played the first Asemblance. I talked about it here as well, and I was kind of curious what the follow-up was going to be. I remember them saying it was, at least it was inspired by like anthology series like Twilight Zone and that sort of thing. So I wasn't sure what the follow-up was going to be, if it was going to be something completely separate from the goings-on of the first game, or if it was going to be something similar or whatever. But it turns out this is like basically a direct sequel. Is kind of picking up in a way where you left off. You're still in this weird like memory laboratory machine. It's got like this holodeck room that you can go into, and this machine, this room that you're in, can reconstruct memories in the computer, and then you go step into the room and then you can experience those memories. So I don't know if I made this connection last time I talked about the game, but it is a first-person game, but it pretty much has the gameplay of PT. Right? If you've played that or if you've seen that, it's basically that. You're going around and exploring these pretty small rooms in first person, and you have very limited ways to interact with things. You have like, I think, one button that can pick things up or use them, and you can zoom in on things to focus on them, and usually that triggers other things happening in the level. But yeah, there are some like weird puzzles and things to solve, or just things to do in the room that then triggers the next event that allows you to kind of explore the next thing and get some semblance of what is happening in, I don't know, in this world. But yeah, So the first game, it felt more of like a personal story. It felt like it was about this one person. In Oversight, this new game, it seems like they're kind of expanding the scope a little bit of sort of the backstory in the game, because I guess they do drop some hints as to how they got this technology to kind of reconstruct memories. So it's not something that they necessarily came up with on their own. So there's a little bit of backstory there. But again, the sort of like PT, it's not directly told to you. There's not like cutscenes or anything like that. It's all kind of just things in the environment. There are like notes littered around. There's like one office like environment that you can go around in, and there'll be computers with screens that you can read emails on, or there'll be, pieces of paper lying around. You can't pick up any of the pieces of paper, but you can like read them on the desk if they are visible. But all that little stuff just gives you some insight into the wider world of Asemblance and what the hell is going on. But it still does remain pretty mysterious. And yeah, I don't know. It's a hard game to recommend just because it is so like weird and, Twilight Zoney, and there's a lot of like psychedelic visual trickery and stuff going on. It's like, where am I? What is going on? What is real life? This is bizarre, but I at least found it intriguing. Just that level of mystery and trying to piece things together. I don't know how many more of these they have in them, but it still feels like, even finishing the game, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. They seem to point at some big event that might have happened already, that I'm curious what that led to. So I'm hoping there's at least another game of this that kind of explains that. But it also does tie a little bit to the first game in other ways as well. But yeah, this game is mysterious as hell. It can be a little hard to penetrate, especially if you haven't played something like this before. Again, which makes it hard to recommend, but it is fairly cheap. It is fairly quick to get through. I think my Steam playtime was at 3 hours for this game to get all the different endings. Actually, I think another thing compared to the first game as well, like the first game had some crazy, like almost ARG style puzzle where you had to rely on information in like the actual outside world to solve the puzzle. And I actually didn't end up getting the last ending for the first game because what you had to do was extremely specific. Like you had to stand in a specific spot at a specific time after like getting into a room to trigger something in another room. It was like crazy weird and hyper specific, and I never ended up getting it because of that, because I guess I just didn't meet whatever crazy requirements. Maybe I wasn't in the right spot or something. But there is one puzzle, I think, that helps you unlock the last ending that you like literally have to go out and Google something. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of hoping, the answer would be in the game. And I'm like spending all this time looking throughout the game. And I'm like, I see somewhat relevant information, and I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, where are the clues? Where is this in the game? But turns out it's not there. You gotta actually Google some shit, and I was like, God damn it, I was not happy about that. But I don't know. I found a YouTube video and somebody explained it because apparently, I guess I don't know if this is run by the developers themselves, but they have their own Discord server, which I like using Discord for certain things, but like to have sort of like this forum, this like community centered around a game, around mystery, where people are trying to pool their collective intelligence to figure out some of these weird puzzles, because this game franchise so far has been about like weird kind of puzzles like that. I would hope for a better or more searchable format, like I don't know, like a forum, like a message board or something, where you can Google and stuff and see how people came to the answer instead of like, you know, going to somebody's Discord server and trying to parse the history and trying to go through like whatever chat log they might have and figure out from there how they came to the answer, to the solution. But yeah, I was just a little miffed at that still. I don't know. That's the other thing. Like there are multiple endings to the game, like quote unquote endings. But they all don't really amount to much in the grand scheme of things, in like trying to answer the mystery that's happening. Like even like completing the game or seeing kind of everything that's in there, there is still like I know some things, or I know more than I knew before, but there's still a whole lot going on that I have no idea what is going on. So yeah, I know that's not going to be very satisfying to a lot of people, which again makes it hard to recommend. But it's hard because they are multiple endings. It doesn't there's no like point in the game where you get to and you're like, oh, okay, I can stop playing now. It's more like, okay, I can, because usually when you finish the game, it kicks you back to the main menu and you can then continue again, and you kind of are back in, you know, the same room, and you can basically go through, you know, and try different things or try different combinations of things. It's kind of like that kind of adventure game where you can, all right, because there are such a limited amount of things that you can do, you can kind of mess around with the order that you maybe go to a place and then do a thing in that place, and that sort of thing. That leads to different revelations and different solutions, and that's how you get all the different endings. But it doesn't ever feel like, okay, I've finished this experience, because they don't really answer much in any of the endings. So it's like, oh, what? I don't know. It's a bizarre thing. I enjoy it because it's weird and sort of mysterious, but I wish there was a little bit more meat in the bone in terms of like what, I guess, explaining what's going on. But other than that, yeah, this game is cool. It's freaky. It's a trip for the mind for sure. And the other thing too is, I don't know if this was the same on other platforms, but I know on Steam they were selling the first Asemblance for like $2 as well. So I just I played the first one on PS4, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just buy both on Steam just to have them on PC. But I don't know. Other than that's pretty much been Asemblance Oversight, what I've been doing with that game.
Cool. Sounds interesting.
It is like it's there's some kind of crazy like sci-fi stuff in the background, but again, it's not, none of it's like spelled out, and you have to have that intuitiveness about you to actually want to learn more, because you have to like go out and in the game, in the environments, and like read stuff and trying to put it together in your head.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all right. Although it is a little buggy too, because I don't know, there were some like weird, like there's just bad subtitling. Not that there's like a lot of spoken text, but there was one walkie-talkie thing that happens, and I guess they got their lines crossed as to like which line, because the walkie-talkie was saying one thing, but the subtitles were saying like a thing that they were saying like way back in like towards the beginning of the game. I'm like, nope, that's not right. That's not what you're supposed to be saying. And then like literally the second thing that you see when you load the game, after the development studio logo comes up, it does the whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, it shows you the save icon, and you know, gives you the boilerplate message of like, hey, this, if you see this save icon, you know, it's in the right hand corner, and you know, don't turn off your game.
Don't turn off yeah.
except they don't spell corner correctly. They spell it with a V instead of an N. And I'm like, no, that's not at all how you spell corner. How did that fall through the cracks?
Is it because Z is like a sideways capital N?
I think you're giving them too much credit there, right?
Well, I mean, hey.
I don't know. But yeah, I just like, as soon as I boot up the game and I saw that, I'm like, okay, let's see what we're in for. But other than that, like, that was like really the only technical issues I had with the game.
Okay. Spelling.
Super
errors.
simple. And it's like right in your face. Like, come on, guys. How did you not see this? Well. But yeah, Asemblance is pretty cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day I was doing a little bit of cleaning and I came across a bag that I had in my closet, and this bag had a Nintendo DS Lite in it. And I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe I still have this. And it still works. And I have one of those cartridges that, like, you loaded up like all the games on like this a SD card, micro SD card. So I had like 20 or so games on there, and I loaded up one of those games, which is one of my favorite games on that system. And that game is Big Brain Academy. And I have talked about this game. I've talked about this game before on the show, but for those of you who don't remember, Big Brain Academy is a game that tests you in different categories, the different areas of your brain that you use daily. So the categories are thinking, analyzing, identification, memory, and computing. So there are 3 tests per category, but with the test, they randomize each of the tests, and they only give you 1 test in each category. So you're never going to take this. You're never going to take the same test twice. So, the game. I love the game because it's really interesting, and it's actually fun. It's not boring like Brain Age. Brain Age was boring, but Brain Age actually was
shots fired.
Super fucking boring. Brain Age was boring as fuck, but Brain Age actually was proven, I believe at the time, to make you more intelligent, to like increase your IQ points a little bit.
I don't know if that's true or not, but all right.
Well, read up on it.
I don't. When people make those kinds of claims, I tend to be like, I don't believe you.
It's like, I don't know.
It's that whole Mensa mentality. I'm like, no, you guys are just up your own ass right now. You think you're better than everybody else. Come on.
Whoa, talking about shots fired. Shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey.
Well, in any case, Big Brain Academy is actually fun. But Big Brain Academy wasn't like necessarily proven to make you smarter. But what I did find, and I can speak from personal experience, what I did find is that playing the game more and more made you think faster. So, because you're testing yourself rigorously, you're trying to answer these questions as fast as possible. Give you a 1-minute time limit for each test in each category. Uh-huh. And, it's a 5-minute test, and you're trying to get the highest score possible. And that means accuracy and speed over everything. So the reason why I'm even bringing this game up was, well, I play it almost every day. I've been playing it almost every day since. I usually play it in the morning and right before I go to sleep, to see like the difference in scores. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 tests in each session. Okay. So I still have my scores saved from when I used to play this game years ago.
Yes.
Like when I was, I think I was at the time, it was like, I want to say like almost 15 years ago.
Okay.
That I played this game like every day, like I'm doing now, sort of. And the thing is, it's like that score, like back in the day, like that score, like I played the game enough to get like a really high score, to the point where even like the cute little character that they have, his name is Dr. Loeb, and he has a certain score that he hit, and that's like supposed to like the all-time highest score. right? Obviously, it's not. But when you beat his score, you start getting different ranks. And, it goes from D, F, D plus, F, D, C minus, C plus, B, A, and then there's S rank, and then there's Ace rank, and then eventually you get to the King rank, and King rank is anything from, it's a range of scores. So back in the day, I was able to beat his score, and I got the Ace rank. And I was always going for the King rank, but, life happens. I stopped playing the game. And then now I'm coming back to it years later. And I was trying to beat my score. And Alex, it was taking me a long time and I couldn't beat my score.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, this is not true. And it's about growing up and getting old. It's not fucking true. So, Alex, I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, Alex, I did beat my score. Do you want to know by how many points I beat my score?
5.
2.
Holy shit.
2 points. 2 points. 2 fucking points. I beat my score by 2 fucking points. And I mean, it was a fucking struggle. Granted, it did take me a while in the first place to get to that score. Yeah. It took me some time. It took me, I would say, I played that game probably for a year, almost every day. And it took me pretty much till the end of that year to get that rank. And I did it but this was after rigorously testing myself, and actually went and did practice exams, which is something I never did in the past. I did practice exams to make me, because they have practice options too. So you can basically, with the practice portion, you can play any test you want, and you can go for different medals in the test. You still have the 1 minute time limit, but it's there's no there's no pressure. You're just trying to achieve the highest possible score that you can in that category. And then when you take the test, it's those scores add up. Those scores add up in each category and you get your grand score, your big score. So you can try to get medals like bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum. And there's nothing higher than platinum, but you can still increase the average score. So I went into practice exams. I was just I'm just trying to I started to recognize where I sucked at, or what I was really good at. And I'm just man, and you know what? In the years, Alex, things have changed, because I used to be really, really good at I was really good at memory. Basically, I was only bad at analysis. Okay. And now I'm really strong in analysis, and I'm actually worse. I'm actually worse in memory, which is crazy. But the thing is, my memory hasn't fallen off that much. But I'm not doing as well in memory as I used to. Mm-hmm. And I'm really amazed that this game keeps track of that shit. It tells you how good you used to do versus how well you're doing now. And even though it's been years. And yeah, man. But I beat my score. I'm happy about that. So now I want to try to go for that King rank, but I definitely recommend Big Brain Academy. I know it's for the DS Lite. It's a pretty much an antiquated system by now, but it doesn't mean that you can't play it on your 3DS or 2DS. And it's just a really fun brain game that helps you just become a little sharper, And I definitely say, if you're gonna play it in the morning when you wake up, because that's when you're very fresh, and I noticed I got the best scores when I was playing in the morning, and versus playing at night. Playing at night, I'm the whole day has been weighing on me, and I've been thinking about stuff, so I've been using my brain more. And then when I play at night, I notice a vast difference. But yeah, Big Brain Academy it's a lot of fun, and it's a really nice little game, and doesn't require a whole lot from you, but it does it pushes your brain, and I like that about it. So yeah, I And they also have the Wii version of Big Brain Academy, which is actually hard. Like it's a lot harder.
I forgot that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the Wii version of that game. It's a lot harder than the DS one, but it's still really fun. And I think like that one is a lot more challenging. It'll probably yield better results for whatever you're trying to achieve with it. Generally, I guess thinking faster, but the DS one, it's nice because you could take it anywhere, and you know it's DS. You can basically just test yourself at any point in time, and it's nice. It's nice. It was really nice to go back to that game and play it again, and I found out why I loved it so much in the first place. So
yeah, when you mentioned it, I was like, I was hoping to God your old stuff had saved over, because I really wanted to see.
Oh, it's still there. It's still there. They have like save files, you know, and the first save file is mine, and then I have my wife's, and my niece is on another one, and then there's another one that's just blank. And yeah, like like my wife tried the game like I think all of 2 or 3 times, and she was already able to like achieve like an A- score, and I'm like, God damn it. Where it took me like forever to achieve like an A- score. So, you know, obviously we can see who is the smarter one. But over time and practice, I achieved a high score.
But now you are the more, if nothing else, you are the more persistent one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might not. You might get it faster, but this to me, it's like the whole hard work beats talent every day of the week. So. That's just what it is. And yeah, and it was cool too, man, like, because it brought back a lot of memories for me with that game too, because it seemed like I tried to make like everyone I knew at the time play that game, just to see like where they were at, you know. And there were people that were like, this game is great, and they would like try to like take it from me, and I'm like, no, I need to practice. And yeah, no, I have a lot of really good memories with that game, and the game is just a lot of fun, and it's so simple. It's really there's nothing like flashy about it. It's just, let's get down to business. You know, these are fun little ways to incorporate these tests and just touch the fucking pad all day, and yeah, it's great. Yeah,
dope, man.
2 points. Fuck. Fuck. 2 points. But I did it. I'm happy about that. It's like the racing ghosts in any like racing game.
Jesus, yeah.
Trying to beat your ghosts, trying to beat yourself.
Yeah. The quest for increasing efficiency.
Yep. Just trying to be better. But yeah, man. Big Brain Academy, I definitely recommend it for any of the systems that it's been on. I was always kind of hoping that they'd release it for like later gen, or they'd release it for like the Virtual Console, or at least now for the Nintendo shop, the eShop.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it, so I'm like, man. But I still have it, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, that fad sort of passed, or at the very least, it just moved to smartphones, because I'm sure that stuff exists there in other forms. I wonder if
they have it on the smartphone.
Well, probably not like actual Big Brain Academy, but there are other apps like that.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah,
there are definitely other apps that are similar. But I don't know, that game is like to me, it's so unique. Like, if I find a game that's like it, I'm like, they took this from Big Brain. They had to have, you know, but
didn't Brain Age come first?
Yeah, Brain Age did come first. Brain Age came 1 year before Big Brain Academy. But Brain Age was, like I said, Brain Age was just not fun. It was just like, you know, let's do math. You know, and let's just do math in the most unfun way possible. I'm like, oh, God.
But math is always fun, Frank.
No, it's not.
Hell yeah, it is.
Math is... I appreciate math for what it is, being you know, straight up deductive reasoning.
It's pure logic.
But, you know, it's either right or wrong. There's no in between. And,
no, it's not like that, man. You know, there are rules to math. As long as you follow those rules, you can get to the answer. You don't have to follow it the exact, strict, specific one way. You can do it however.
But the result is always right or wrong. There is no in between with that within math. Like that's not the way math works. Math, yeah, you can get to your answer in so many different ways, but it's at the end you're right or you're wrong or you're not.
Frank, that's just life. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
It's about the it's about the journey. But
I will say the only thing I remember about Brain Age is that the voice recognition was crap.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Just remember screaming blue at the thing and it not knowing what the hell I'm saying.
Oh my god, I forgot. One of my friends like always had a joke about that. He's like, scream like blue, and he's like, you said yellow. What?
The fuck are you on, DS?
How? Red. You said brown. Brown's not even a color here.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I know many people play that game just screaming blue at their DSs and just being frustrated as hell.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that too, man. That didn't really work. Thankfully, Big Brain Academy does not have that option in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all touchpad, and you can also interrupt your tests. If you close the DS at any time during a test, then you interrupt your test. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like say you're doing really well, and then you really fuck up in a category. You're like, fuck this, and you close the DS and open it back up and start over. But yeah, that's the thing. You never get the same test twice. And I've never gotten because I have favorite tests in each category, and I've never gotten to take all of my favorite tests, like in the same test.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like even though it's only 15 different combinations. Well, not 15 different combinations, 15 different tests you can take, whereas the random 5, there are so many different combinations that I've never been able to take my favorites.
Oh.
I think there was one time I got 4 out of 5 of my favorites, and then the last one was something in the thing category that kicked my ass.
What if it's done on purpose?
I don't know.
They only give you one of your favorites and nothing else. Yeah.
It was crazy, man. Yeah, but I don't know. So I'm sure it can happen someday.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it can happen someday. But they have and the tests themselves are really cool and a lot of fun, and test sight and sound, and yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. So I guess that's all I'm gonna say about Big Brain. I love it, and I'm gonna play it more because it actually helps me with prepping for Evo, surprisingly, because it keeps my brain sharp, so that I can actually utilize different things with these games that I'm playing.
You feel it actually makes a difference for other fighting games and stuff?
It very much does. Yeah. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. I very much noticed that. Even back when I was playing it years back, when I was training, I found that it was actually helping me with my training. I was actually thinking faster with training, and it was I was like, holy shit. And I'm very sure that it was because of Big Brain, because I was playing it every single day, and I was forcing myself to use my brain, and I was exercising it, and therefore it translated very well to what I was doing.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I definitely feel that it helped me.
Well, that's dope.
Big time. Yeah. So, yep, highly recommended. So, all right, that's enough of that.
Check out the Big Brain on Brett.
Yeah. For real. Check that shit out. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's fun little game. So simple. So, all right, let's move into headlines as we usually do from here. And we're going to, before we start talking, we want you to go to innercitygeeks.com so you can follow along with us with what we're going to be talking about. So, first up, in some news, Best Buy is going to be ending their Gamers Club Unlocked program. Now, it's not exactly set in stone that is the case, but apparently there are no other options to purchase more Gamers Club options, or there's no option to renew as well. But for people who don't know what the Gamers Club is, Gamers Club was a little thing that Best Buy did that's similar to what Amazon does, is that they offered 20% discounts on new games and pre-orders of games. And the price, I believe, was $30 for 2 years. And I think in the beginning it was like a lot more. Yeah, like here it says like it was $100 at first for 2 years, and then it was dropped to $30 3 years ago. And it was because of this, actually, because this was around first, that's why Amazon is doing what they do now, and they still do it. But Amazon does the same thing if you pre-order a game, and I think for new games up to 2 or 3 weeks after the game is released, you can get a 20% discount on that game. So it saves a bit of money there. But Best Buy is apparently there again. There's no option to purchase any new Gamers Club memberships or any options to renew. And they say that they will actually honor anyone who has any existing memberships until they expire. So yeah, I don't know how many people actually participated in this thing though. It seems like Amazon is like the easier option, but I'm sure there are like Best Buy hardcore people out there that probably were enrolled in this. And it kind of sucks, but you have other options too. So I don't know. What do you think about this?
I mean, it sucks that they're ending it with basically no notice to these people. It's kind of like
right.
Hey, we're taking it out of our internal systems, and eventually everybody's going to learn the hard way that this thing no longer exists, which kind of is a shitty thing to do on Best Buy's part. But yeah, it sucks that it's ending. That this program is ending. Other than that, I don't know. I personally don't, use that program. I occasionally buy stuff at Best Buy, games and things like that. But no, I don't. It's not my first place to go for those sorts of things. But yeah, sucks for people that do though. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to put something in its place, or it does seem like what you said. Like it just seems like they're just going to kind of like deny it ever existed, and just try to keep profiting off of whatever else they have.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else they would have, because I don't know. I don't know if this is just my perception, but it seems like the longer we go down this road, feels like more and more brick and mortar places are just gonna end up perishing away.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the case with Best Buy, but whatever. It seems like everybody wants to buy their shit online and not deal with any other human beings ever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, another news. So, E3 is coming soon. E3 is a few weeks away as you're listening to this. And with E3 comes a bunch of like rumors. Like, I've seen some crazy shit. I don't know about you, but I've seen some like complete like press conference leaks of like what apparently is going to be shown at each publisher's press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that can't happen. That's not true. And what? That might happen. And well, we heard about this already. And it's just like, I don't know. People are stupid. People are crazy. I don't know. I don't know what's true and what's not. But in any case, one of the biggest rumors for one of the biggest franchises in video games is that Pokemon is the franchise, by the way, in reference. Pokemon is going to be coming to the Switch. And the rumor is that the Pokemon game that is going to be coming to the Switch is going to be a game called Pokemon Let's Go. And there are going to be two different versions of this game. There's going to be a Pikachu version and an Eevee version. And the game itself is basically going to be, again, all rumors. This is not, I'm not speaking any fact here. This is all speculation. But with that being said, apparently that this iteration of Pokemon is going to be like a Pokemon Yellow remake for the Switch. But like fully blown remake, like, updated graphics, updated whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also with the whole Pikachu and Eevee edition, it's kind of like, oh, well, that's different. Because, yeah, Pikachu, yeah, we had Pokemon Yellow with Pikachu as the mascot character on the front, but Eevee? And I know Eevee is very popular, but that's just kind of like, wow. Didn't expect that. But
it's about goddamn time Eevee got some fucking recognition.
Eevee's so adorable. Oh my god. And then, but yeah. So this game would be, because it would apparently be a Pokemon Yellow remake, that it would be a Pokemon RPG, or at least RPG adjacent remake for the Switch. And also, there's also speculation that they are going to somehow incorporate Pokemon Go into the fold. So, and I remember reading somewhere, and it said it in an article too, that Nintendo was always interested in kind of like incorporating or absorbing Pokemon Go's like success and their gameplay dynamic into the main Pokemon franchise itself. So this might be the chance for them to do that. And besides that, there is also the fact that, like I said before, E3 is coming. And because E3 is coming, obviously there's going to be announcements and news. And we're going to just kind of have to see like how closely this kind of like gels with what is actually going to be announced. But there are a lot of like hints and like evidence, and there are like sources that say that this whole Pokemon Let's Go it might very well be real. And a lot of the stuff is here in this article. Not going to go into too much detail, but that is the gist of this big Pokemon rumor for the Switch. I would love this. I think this is a great idea. The Switch to me, would be a perfect system for this to be released on. I'm not sure if this is like the big Pokemon RPG that people have been clamoring for years and years and years, but it's close. And even though it could potentially be a remake, it's still something. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this?
My knee-jerk reaction is like, I don't care about this. I just want the Pokemon actual RPG on the Nintendo Switch. Like,
that would be a good thing.
Like they said that they were going to do. I'm pretty sure they talked with the developers at one point, and they said that they were going to make a full-on, Pokemon RPG, full-fledged on the Switch. I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is what it's going to be, and I kind of don't believe that this is going to be a remake of Yellow, just based on the name. Like, if that was the case, why name it Let's Go Pikachu or whatever? It seems weird. It sounds like a spin-off to me, but I don't know what that spin-off would be of. It's just, this whole thing is bizarre. I don't know what to make of it, but the thing I do know is that it does not sound like a full-on like Pokemon RPG game.
Yeah.
What it is, who knows? I don't know. It's bizarre. I'm just saddened that they're hitching their wagon to this whole Pikachu business. It's good that they got Eevee their own game. Now it's like we need one for Magikarp. We need one for Growlithe. They need some equal recognition as well for being dope-ass and adorable Pokemons. But other than that, I don't know. I'm waiting for the actual Pokemon game. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when Nintendo makes all the money. But I think Nintendo is like, they're very much a business, and they see that the Switch is very successful, and they're like, well, we don't need to quite put it out just yet, which is why I was surprised they didn't put it out for the Wii U. But I guess they also probably thought that the Wii U probably wasn't the best system to put it out on, especially with the way it was floundering. So I think like this would be a really good opportunity, but they're kind of just trying to like ride the success of whatever they have released out now until maybe they reach like a dead time, and then they're like, all right, now's a good time. But they might announce something, and hey, it could very well be the Pokemon RPG that we've been looking for. It just might not be this.
Yeah.
You know?
Or it could be this, and this is like their kind of test bed for what will be the full-on RPG.
Right.
But yeah, man, Sun and Moon was so good. I just want, that on a Switch, better graphics, HD and all that. That would be, something like that would be great. Yeah. That's all they have to do.
But, all right. So, moving along. So, Call of Duty Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Yes. 4 with the 4 eyes, or 4 Roman numeral 1s all together for some reason.
4 eyes, yeah. So Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was revealed recently. And the game is going to be out October 12th. And this game, first of all, they're completely shying away from campaigns in general. They're gonna go like full on multiplayer, but they're saying like, oh, we're gonna put stories in the multiplayer to kind of give you a reason for being there and a reason for doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, there's a trailer here for this game in this article, so you can watch that at your leisure. This game looks a lot like Overwatch, to the point where even like Blizzard did work with Treyarch to get Black Ops 4 on Battle.net for the PC. And it's like they pretty much like, it's like they had permission to like say like, let's try to make this game a little more like Overwatch than we wanted it to. And yeah, if you watch this video, I don't know if you saw it, but I was just like, oh, okay. This all seems familiar to a degree. And they also reference in this article that they took out like the stuff that people didn't like in Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare.
Oh my god!
People didn't like the games themselves, really, but there's no thrust jumping or wall running. And the zombies mode will also look very different from the respective modes in the other two games.
I don't know about you, but I actually happened to watch most of this stream live when it happened last week. And when it came to the part where they were talking about like the movement options, like the thrust and the wall running and all that, they made it a big point to say like, hey, this stuff is not in the game. Like up until the, like just saying like, hey, you like, I forget what it said on, there's like a screen behind the guys that were on stage talking about it, but they're like, I think wall running was on the screen, and then the guy said like, nope, this is not in the game, and then everybody cheered, and then like a big fucking no was on the screen right behind the guy, and I was like, wow, I don't know, it just felt like, wow, how is there so much hate in the world? Like, you guys hate new features and new different ways to play the game. It's like, I don't know, it just felt bananas to me, like that I was watching this and that this was real. I was like, Jesus Christ, okay. Sorry you guys had a double jump at one point and you didn't like it, so they just removed this from the game. Like, hey, remember that thing we did where we were trying to be like creative and inventive with like the fucking game? We threw that shit in the trash because it's garbage, and everybody's like, yeah, you guys are garbage. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You can't please everyone. You can't please people in general these days.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so hey, no more wall thrusting. Jump thrusting.
Boots on the ground only. Yeah, all right. That's my Call of Duty.
Sucks. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So get excited. October 12th, you'll be able to play the war games that they've been intended to play this whole time. So, all right. So, moving along.
Wait. First, you missed the biggest part, man.
What's that?
Battle Royale is coming to Call of Duty, baby.
Oh, that's right. And again, I'll Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Wait, what? Overwatch doesn't have Battle Royale, you crazy person? What are you talking about? I mean, Battle Royale, practically like every mode in Overwatch is fucking like arena Battle Royale. And no?
Yeah.
Battle Royale is like last person standing. Overwatch is team-based
Overwatch is
gameplay.
teams.
Yeah.
True.
This is my takeaway is that Call of Duty no longer has an identity outside of like maybe the 60 frames per second gameplay and like the very short time to kill, because they're taking bits and pieces of every other game. Like you say Overwatch, I'm thinking more of like Rainbow Six Siege with what they're doing, because they're also doing like sort of like hero type shooter stuff where each character in their game has like a specific loadout and specific abilities.
Or even Fortnite, dude.
Yeah, that's
PUBG.
Yeah, they're doing that with the Battle Royale stuff. They're taking the little pieces of that too, but they didn't show anything about Battle Royale other than some teaser trailer, so we don't know anything about like how big it's going to be, because this is also the first time Call of Duty has done like, you would expect a Battle Royale game to have, fairly big maps, and I don't remember a Call of Duty game doing that in the past, so I'm very curious what that is going to look like and what like the player count is going to be. But none of that information is out there yet. But yeah, they're just like taking bits and pieces of all the hot stuff that's happening right now and just infusing it into Call of Duty. So it's like, it's just bizarre to me. Like, okay, this is what it is now.
It doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, it shouldn't, but at least they got zombies, which is kind of like their own thing. Like they've been doing that for years, and
zombies. I think zombies was a fad, and that's on its way out. Like,
I don't know, man. People were like super fucking excited for it, and there's like 3 separate zombie campaigns in this one game.
Cool.
Yeah, they've got like they showed I think a little bits of each of them. Like there's one that's in, it seemed like a Roman Colosseum or something, which is kind of weird. There's one on the Titanic. And then there's just, I think the other one is, a throwback to like the original Zombies campaign. I'm not too familiar with that stuff, but that's what it seemed like. But yeah, a lot of Zombies fans out there for Call of Duty. But yeah, I don't know. Call of Duty is, I don't know. It's just a blob now. It's an amorphous blob, and it's like this fucking Katamari that's going around and taking all the little pieces of every other game in existence and assimilating itself into its own form. It's bizarre.
Yeah, Call of Duty is definitely something that is. It's like, it's just one of those things. I'm not even gonna call it a cash grab, like, because I feel like it's like gone beyond that, like kind of like bad PR for it. Like, I feel like it's just something worse. Like now it's just like, we have to put it out every year, and we're just like gonna do the same shit, but we're gonna put like a little sprinkle of a little nice new coat of paint on it and just call it what it is. And I'm just like, really, guys? Like it's one thing, because I mean, of course there are companies that do this all the fucking time with so many fucking games, but it's like they're not even fucking trying. And that's what's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, do you, if you really want these games to like be quality as you think they are, then why don't you just try something else?
I don't think they're even trying to compete on that level anymore. Like, I think at this point they found their audience, and now they're just giving to that particular audience, the people that just play Call of Duty, all these different things that they can do in that universe.
I mean, it's no wonder that Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare were so hated, because I think that's when they actually kind of tried something different. Well, actually, technically, no, they didn't, because at that time, that's when Titanfall was out. And they decided to try to like emulate that somehow, without giant mechs.
Well, that's like Advanced Warfare was when they started the stuff with the movement stuff, like the thrusting jumps and the side,
the boost
sways. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh well.
We're not the target audience, Frank.
No, we're not.
But that's one Battle Royale mode announced for my predictions. I'm curious what the other 2 will be.
But okay, so in the most important thing. So in our last piece of news, so Microsoft announced a new controller for gamers with disabilities. And this, the controller is called the Xbox Adaptive Controller. And there's a video showcasing like exactly like the moving parts and components of this controller, but this looks really, really cool. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that like people even without disabilities will find a way to use this, because this is just like, it has so many like really nice things going for it, like so many accessories with it, and I'm just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I just think the message in general is just really awesome. Like, you know, they want everyone to be able to play these games, because like they show in the video, they show people who are missing appendages, missing arms or hands, and they can't quite, or they don't have full use of their fingers or hands, and they can't quite, like, you know, play. They're not as dexterous as, you know, people that have full use of their hands.
Yeah.
And the way they design this controller and all of the accessories with it, that it's very easy for everyone to play these games, and this is just really awesome. The controller is basically so it has you have the regular like Xbox controller, but it also has like a large white base with these like giant circle pads on it, and it comes with like joysticks, like 3 different types of joysticks, red buttons. It comes with a stabilizer, headphones, adapters. It's just like this thing is like really fucking cool. And yeah, I just think that's just really amazing. Like the message is behind this is just awesome. It's going to cost $100, and then they said it's going to be out later this year. And yeah, this is pretty fucking cool.
I will say though, I don't think it comes with any of that extra stuff that's in the picture. I think it's just that base unit.
Oh, no?
But you can plug in.
Oh,
because there's like, depending on what your disability is, you could have, or you would have different needs than, you know, a lot of other people. So there's not really any way that they can create just like a pack that, you know, will be able to be used by just, you know, some group of people. But the big thing about the controller is its modular nature, because the back panel has so many different ports that you can plug into different kinds of buttons or switches. Yeah, for each of the inputs. So the best part of the controller is kind of like you can kind of make it whatever the hell you want to make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
I really like this. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of like enamored with this whole thing. This is really cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's dope that it's coming from like a big company like Microsoft.
Yeah.
And I think they've said elsewhere, I don't know if it's like on their blog or something, but I think there's a link to their blog, but they've pretty much come out and said, like, if anyone out there, any other company wants to get some information on what all the work that they've put into this so far, like, just hit them up. They're ready and willing to share their information and share their knowledge about this and make this better. This is not the end all be all, you know, there could be better things to come from this design in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. Man, this is awesome. Yeah. So
I like that one of the comments is like, I bet you could play Steel Battalion on that. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah, you probably could.
You probably could.
Uh-huh.
But all right. So that is going to do it for headlines for this week. And we are going to go into new and upcoming releases, and Alex is going to go ahead and take us through what we can look forward to for the week. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so for this week, the week of May 22nd, we have A State of Decay 2. The standard edition is now out for Xbox One and PC. Gorogoa is now out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's actually a game I've been meaning to pick up. It's been on Steam for a while, but maybe now I will finally pull the trigger on that. Another game I've been kind of looking forward to is Runner 3. Is out now for the Switch from the Bit Trip Runner series. I'm kind of surprised that series is still going, because Runner 2 was pretty fucking good. Fun fact, narrated by Charles Martinet, who appears as an in-game character in Runner 3.
As himself?
As himself.
That's cool.
It's wacky. The model for him is crazy. It's like a cartoon version of him. It's funny as hell. Also out this week is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This is not Ritual of the Night, which is the Kickstarter game. This is like some retro throwback that
damn it
they decided to release. My
eyes just opened up. I was like, what?
That's why I had to like say it right away. This is not the full Kickstarted game. I don't know how this relates, but yeah, it looks like, an older style, like 16, 8-bit style game. But yeah, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is out now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, 3DS, Vita, and PC. So if you got that Castlevania itch, that this might satiate it just a bit.
All right, we'll see about that. We'll see.
And we've also got the Elder Scrolls Online Summer Set for PC. I believe that's coming out in console in like 2 weeks, so you guys have to hold on for a little bit there. H1Z1 Battle Royale is coming out to PlayStation 4. Star Trek Bridge Crew is getting some DLC. It's called The Next Generation for PlayStation 4. You can, I guess, step aboard the Enterprise D and get that Next Generation era. I think I heard that there's like a campaign where like there's a mission against the Borg, and it's really fucking hard. And that kind of sounds interesting for people that play that game. We've also got this week Disco Dodgeball Remix for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Everspace for the PlayStation 4. Stardew Valley has been ported to yet another console. This time, it is the PlayStation Vita. Super Hyperactive Ninja is out now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I Hate Running Backwards is out for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Mega Man Legacy Collection 1+2 for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can have all those games on the Switch.
All your favorites on the go, wherever you are.
And then the Mega Man X Collection is coming soon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. It's all coming together.
Yep.
And Mighty Number 9 is already on the Switch, too, so they can all be in one happy
So is
place.
Azure Striker Gunvolt.
All right,
that's also
right.
on the Switch also. So
I forgot that made it over. I thought that was still like 3DS and PC.
Nope, it's on the Switch.
All right. Also out this week is a One Piece Grand Cruise for the PlayStation VR, Shio for PS4, Tennis World Tour for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This is going to be hard to say. I'm going to apologize in advance. Baobab's Mausoleum Episode 1, Ovnifagos, Don't Eat Flamingos for the Nintendo Switch.
Good job.
Thank you. Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers is out now for 3DS. Discovery for the Switch. N++ is now out for the Switch. As is Punch Club, also for the Switch. Zenbound 2, also for the Switch. And finally, the Dauntless Open Beta is now available for the PC, which is a game I think they showed a trailer of on one of the past video game award shows.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was last year.
Yeah. That brings us to a couple of Friday releases this week, so you can look forward to Dark Souls Remastered this Friday for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. If you do get Dark Souls, say hello to Solaire for me. Detroit Become Human is also out on Friday for the PlayStation 4. I think it's safe to say you and I will not be checking that out.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's nice. Moving along.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Also out on Friday is Pixel Junk Monsters 2 for PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. And finally, I'm not sure how to say this, but there's 3 O's with mixed capitalization with the subtitle Ascension is out now for Xbox, out on Friday for the Xbox One. And that's going to do it for all our new releases of this week.
All right. Thank you for that. And with that, we are done with this episode. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit InnerCityGeeks.com if you haven't done so already while listening, because that's where we are located and where we have a bunch of stuff sometimes regarding everything geek. You can view our episodes, quote unquote, you can listen to our episodes on our YouTube channel. You said that you can view something there. It's a nice picture.
Sure, yeah.
Of the episode there as well. But you can listen to our episodes on our YouTube channel. It's Good Games Podcast. And while you're there, you subscribe to us. So that's just another place that you can go to listen to our episodes. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review while you're doing that. And that's the best thing that you can do for us, because you should let us know how we're doing so we can adjust accordingly. You can also listen to us where all podcasts are available to be listened to, so you don't have to go through those two options, but those are probably the two best places to go. I also want to encourage everyone that if you're going to do any kind of Amazon shopping, maybe get that 20% off of new games, pre-orders or new games with a few weeks, go to InnerCityGeeks.com first, then click on that Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the page. When you do that, it'll take you to Amazon. Go buy whatever it is that you were going to buy. And when you do that, a little bit of that will come back towards us so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can also reach us on all of the social media outlets, mainly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Inner City Geeks. The Twitter for this show specifically is at Good Game Podcast. And you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And we actually check our email, so feel free. Just let us know what's going on. Just say hey. And that is going to about do it for this one. Thank you for listening, everybody. We're going to say goodbye. And in leaving, as always, we say, good games, everybody.
Good games.